Hi, everybody. I am sorry I couldn't be there tonight, but I wanted to talk with you about one of the essential practices, the problem-based instruction and an application for it that I think is really cool. So this is a resource that we've been using at Jenison Junior High for the last couple years, and I was trained in it and taught about it from the National Writing Project. So this is the c3wp, and what it is basically a few years ago, the National Writing Project got together with a bunch of different college instructors, and they were like, hey, so what do you need from us as high school teachers? And the colleges said, it'd be really great if your kids could be more critical thinkers than what they currently are. And so the National Writing Project took it upon themselves to create this resource for us as classroom teachers. And so a lot of these are problem-based units that they helped to, or that they wrote to help students engage in asking questions about the world around them and to do some big thinking around those ideas. So I want to just show this to you to just kind of talk about this resource and maybe how you could use it in your classroom. So let's see. First of all, you should read this first page because it tells what is the C3wp and gives you some different ideas here. But then if you go to instructional resources, then I think one of the really great tools here is if you go into your specific grade level. I'm going to click on secondary just because that's what I think most of us are. But there are some really great resources in the upper elementary too that I use in my classroom. Anyways, okay, so what it says here is really important. It's not a curriculum to be followed. It's a set of resources that you can use based on what your student needs are. So if you scroll down, then it has some different, like in this table, it talks about some different things. So if your students need to just work on entering into the conversation, like writing a claim, then this would be the section that you would want to work with. If your students are struggling with using source materials purposefully, then you would want to work in this section. And then if your students, they're putting in pieces of evidence, but they're just not really being thoughtful about it, then you might want to work in here. And so I want to just kind of click on one of the units, which is ranking evidence. And so I've got it open over here. So in the ranking evidence, this gives us just an idea of what this particular unit is. They tell you up at the top an overview and the things that you're going to be working on. So this one you'd be working on writing a draft where you have ranked and ordered your evidence to be quality evidence to support your thinking. And then they give a couple of different text sets. And this is where I really think that is the strength of this particular resource, because the text sets that they put together are things that the kids care about. So this one is about homework that they have prepared for you, or they've prepared a second set on plastic straws, which is something that the kids care about right now too. And then it goes through after that into some daily lesson plans of a way that you could teach this teach this concept of ranking your evidence, but you're using things that the kids actually care about and want to write about. So the way that we use this in Jenison Junior High is we do 4 argument cycles through the course of the year, and we've kind of identified 4 different areas that our kids traditionally struggle with. So our first unit we choose out of this entering the conversation, just helping the kids to develop a claim, and then we choose some from later on in the sequence of units that they provide. Another part of this resource is the formative assessment tools. And so this is worth clicking on as well. But one that I think is really powerful is this student version of using the sources tool. And there's a nice protocol that they offer that you can use with your students to have them peer evaluate and then do some work with evaluating their own writing so that then they're being those critical thinkers and really thinking about their own writing, which I think gets to the essential practices as well. I hope this is helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful night tonight. Again, this resource is the National Writing Project's C3wp. Have a good one. I'll see you all soon.